What's going on, YouTube? Modeling that back at you with the next build project. So for the 75th anniversary of NASCAR, kick off the NASCAR kind of build year, gonna go ahead and start with this gem of an old kit. So this is kit number 1-1704. This is from 1973. So to be honest, I don't know if somebody doodled on this box before I got a hold of it, or what the case is. I'm assuming so, but yeah. So this is actually the old MPC release of the 73 Charger. Officially, I believe, per the instructions, was the number 11 Petty Dodge, which we'll grab out here. However, it was, again, just a plain brown box top and stuff like that. So you guys can see the old original decals there. So gonna go with definitely an oldie but a goodie. The one thing I love about this old kit, it's MPC of the Fun Group at General Mills. So this was actually produced by the cereal company. So something that not a lot of people really think of. So similar to most other MPC kits and stuff like that of the repop era, kept the same chassis, but this is the original molds. This is from 1973, like I said. So starting off, which is kind of cool, actually has you start off with the body, getting the body painted, getting filler cap in, glass in, front end, everything like that. The rear spoiler, rear deck, and then building out the interior chassis. And then you get into the engine, so the Hemi, big block Hemi, so it has color callouts, pretty simplistic stuff like that. Then putting the wheels together, so again, pulling each part out. The rear differential, getting that all glued in. Then starting to build up the main part of the chassis, getting the roll cage assembled, and then putting, just a couple of spots here, so getting the suspension on down through the front roll bars and stuff like that, push bars, the seats, start of the roll cage, rest of the roll cage, the dashboard, getting that all put in, and then, like I said, all on through to the completion. So definitely not gonna 100% follow the instructions, just to call that out. I'm just building the NASCAR kits and stuff like that. I'm probably gonna start actually with the chassis, try to get that all completed first, and then move on from there. So to be honest, it's pretty much a box stock. It was open package when I got it and stuff like that. I know Salvino's has re-released the 73 Charger. This one's definitely going to need some work. So I'm going to sand off the door handle. I may go ahead and actually just put paint a little block of styrene silver, and then put the decal for the handle on, and then cut the handle out. I may actually try that on this build, with the idea that, again, it would have actually been a piece of sheet aluminum that would have been cut out and riveted in. So might as well actually try to mimic what they actually did. Also go through, get the Charger 500 sanded off each side. There is obviously some mold lines and stuff like that, but this is really the old school hard shell plastic. So get some experience working with that. Looking at the kit, or the car itself, granted this one is just 74, but I have the decals from the other sheet to do his 73. I'm gonna go with the Marty Robbins. So absolutely loved just the story of him, the fact of him running and racing these cars back in the day, in NASCAR and stuff like that, just as a fun hobby while he was, singing and performing at the Grand Ole Opry. And the story from the I think it was the 83 race, which was, I think, one of the first broadcasted night races of NASCAR. Kind of that whole story, learning about Marty Robbins. And then here's again, sample of the original decal sheet. definitely by modern standards, it is absolutely atrocious. The decals for the contingencies and stuff like that are definitely pretty bad. They're not within register at all and stuff like that. But again, yeah, when's the last time you've seen what is about 50-year-old decals, I think, at this point? So, in either case, the kit itself looks actually really pretty good. It does have some ejector marks and stuff like that. I may try to sand out a little bit. Not 100% sure, but I love the interior of these old NASCAR kits. So I'll go ahead and get started and catch you back with part 1 of the build here pretty quick. See you later. What's going on, YouTube? Modeling up back at you with part 1 here of the Marty Robbins 1973 Dodge Charger build. So this is again the original MPC kit from ages ago. 1973 is actually when this one was produced. So just to kind of recap what work was completed tonight. So seal up some micro drill bits here. Went through tonight and started building up the chassis, getting it all assembled, as you can see in front of you there. The roll cage is a separate, so I'm going to pull that off here after I kind of let some things set up overnight. I'll probably touch a little bit of glue here on these rear supports one more time. They do bend lightly, which is nice. But as you can see, the firewall may look a little bit different than what you'd expect. The reason for that is my kit was actually missing it. Again, you buy old used kits, there's a good potential that it's going to be missing some parts. And of course, what was my missing? Firewall. So far as that I've been able to find, that's the only thing missing. So what I was able to do is I happen to have a bunch of, oops, let me unlock that, a bunch of the MPC repops of the Trinos, as well as, let's see, the Monte Carlos, stuff like that. But this kit, the Trinos specifically, is a reproduction of this same chassis. So the roll cage is pretty close to the same. To be honest, I like these a little bit better. They were a little thinner plastic. However, that then causes the problem of warpage. So as you can see, front end's a little cattywampus. So tried straightening it out a little bit. I think I'm just going to let it go until I get everything built. I'm hoping that when I get that front suspension on, it'll help pull this side down just a little bit, as it just needs pulled down like that. But as you can see, the roll cage is pretty torqued as well. No, that is not how I glued it, in the sense of a error on my part. This back piece was really bowed, just from, again, 50 years of sitting in a box with not the proper supports and stuff like that. It's just gonna flex and bow. So but in either case, what I did was I grabbed some 1/2 mil styrene, grabbed out the firewall from the Bobby Isaac kit, and then proceeded to go ahead and build one. Sadly, it ripped out the top here on me when I drilled this top hole, but got the brake pedals in. Doesn't seem to be a problem at all. And I think once I have everything in place, might run a few lines, kind of simulate some brake lines, stuff like that. It gives me a reason to actually, super detail this thing up a little bit. So yeah, like I said, we'll see how this thing flexes and comes back to a centered position. Worst case scenario, might just kind of keep playing at it a little bit, try to straighten it back out. But to be honest, I think once I get all of the weight into this thing with the motor, stuff like that, it should settle it out pretty well. As well as once I get the roll cage in and glued down, that also I think will kind of force it to sit a little bit flatter as well, once it's glued in and things like that. But in either case, again, it's stuff that you got to deal with old kits. So overall, love the way that it's looking so far. I'll try to do a quick test fit with the body here. I can carefully get the frame over those rear wheel wells. just to settle down and in. Get that over the back. And slide her forward and down over that front. And just like so, she is locked in. And the thing that I actually like about these tighter bodies, with a lot of the looser bodies and stuff like that, what I've had trouble with is I go to pick up a kit like this, and like the kit half falls apart because it's just not supported enough. So that's one thing I actually do like about these older kits, is just the ability, like I said, to just pick them up and not have to worry about it. So, but as you can see, looks pretty good. A little flex in it and stuff like that. But I think in the end it'll look really good and everything like that. So I'm gonna let that sit for the night. Like I said, just kind of dry up, let the glue go off and stuff like that. And then tomorrow, probably go ahead and get started on the engine, get that around and ready to go into primer, and just keep trucking away at this. So should be a pretty quick build through, but hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Again, like, comment, subscribe. If you know anybody who's interested in these old kits or seeing any of these old kits get built, definitely send them over. And yeah, like I said, hopefully you guys are enjoying the series. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.